Hi, my name is Chris Testa, callsign Kilo Delta 2 Bravo Michael Hotel. I've been ripping apart computers since I was a young boy, and I got a degree in computer engineering. I then went to go work at Google and YouTube, but I'm an entrepreneur at heart, so I left a job at the best company in the world for the startup ring. And I got burned out in the Twitter gold rush. So, as an Eagle Scout, I decided to go backpack the Sierra Nevada mountain range and clear my head. It was the first time I could bring a smartphone with me since they recently came out, and I was frustrated that it didn't work in the backcountry. So I decided to do something about it, and I started the WhiteBox project. I had many other sources of inspiration for this project. One came from Nikola Tesla. His Wardenclyffe laboratory is a location where he aimed to bring universal communication to the whole world. Also, in an issue of Maker magazine, an article called Of Kits and Revolutions talked about how amateurs have disproportionately influenced early innovation in the technology sectors. Finally, an article by Eric Blossom called Exploring GNU Radio made me really want to contribute something to the software radio space, which I think is so important for our future. Once my intention was out there, doors started to open up. I used a bunch of different open source hardware projects, including the USRP, the HackRF, the HP SDR, and a project coming out of the University of Michigan by Yisheng Kyo called Software Radio on a Low-Calorie Diet. Together, I put all these projects and I built a low-power, small-footprint software radio similar to a cell phone baseband modem. I built the first prototype at the Wireless Embedded Systems Laboratory, or WEASL Lab, at the University of Utah. Once I got it to transmit and receive, I quickly wrote a paper and applied to the Tucson Amateur Packet Radio Digital Communication Conference, where I presented the topic last year. The Tapper DCC is the right place to bring a new software-defined radio into the public eye, because there's a lot of really smart SDR people who go there, and I got a lot of really great feedback. I brought a layout with me on a piece of paper, but I didn't have a timeline as to when I would have it assembled or finished, because I was still uncovering all the complexities of building a low-power SDR. I did assemble that first version on a hot plate at the University of Maryland. The alpha turned on, it was battery powered, it could communicate with an application processor, but I missed a resistor in the phase lock loop filter, and as a result I couldn't get the PLL to lock, and I couldn't get a transmit to come out. So after that first alpha kind of worked, I knew that I needed to step my game up for the Bravo release. I started to go around looking for funding, and between Tapper, Mcraft, Goleg, and Bruce Perrins, I was able to put together the funds to build 12 boards of the second iteration. I built them at a surface mount assembly line in Southern California, and about 72 hours after they came off the line, I brought it to Hamvention 2013. And I didn't have it fully functioning at the time, and the bring up was not as smooth as I would have liked it to be. But ultimately, I prevailed and got the first transmit to come out of the antenna, which you can see right here on the oscilloscope. After almost 2 years, I figured out the most important part, the development process. And I think I can see now how we can get from an embedded kit to something that you actually take with you in your pocket on the go. The next version of the board, called the Charlie release, will add amplifiers, bandpass filters, and a transmit-receive switch. I'd like to release this as a Tapper kit with you all so that we can blaze the trail on low-power software radio. Every 6 months after that, I'd like to release a new version of hardware, adding incremental additions or consolidations. We'll go from an embedded kit, to an automotive mobile unit, to a battery-powered kit, to a smartphone, and maybe even one day a watch. Today I'm also excited to announce that the website is live at http://radio.testa.co. If you go there, you can check out the frequently asked questions, the hardware specification, and download the software development kit. But most importantly, join the mailing list so I can keep you up to date on the latest developments with the WhiteBox project. Thank you very much.